Hey guys, what's up? Crazy Kae-len back again with another video. In this video, I'm doing another Killstreak breakdown. So, if you watched my last video, that was a Killstreak breakdown as well on Tatooine Mos Eisley and Jabba's Palace as Darth Maul and Palpatine. It was two Killstreak breakdowns in one video because it was back to back. But in this video, I'm just doing one Killstreak breakdown. This one is on Jakku Graveyard, and it's as Chewbacca. I'm pretty sure I get a 93 player killstreak in this game, but I could be wrong. But it's a pretty good killstreak. There's a lot of stuff that you can learn from in this killstreak. You can learn how to get better as your Chewbacca if you aren't too good with Chewbacca. And there's a lot of just general tips and strats that I can teach you in this killstreak breakdown. So it's a pretty good killstreak, pretty good gameplay, and let's get straight into the killstreak. Alright, so here I'm spawning in as Chewbacca. It's in the middle of the second phase, so I've missed out on the first phase entirely. But that's okay, because I can still get quite a few kills. Still got 3 phases to get quite a few kills. So I come in initially just blasting people with my bowcaster. As you can see, Palpatine is running towards me here. But I stun him and just try to take him out with my furious bowcaster. Chewbacca, he can take out enemy heroes pretty easily. He's very OP in terms of being able to take out enemy heroes. All you really have to do with him is just stun enemy heroes when you come across them and just unload into them with your furious bowcaster. So enemy heroes aren't really too much of a hassle for Chewbacca. And he's a pretty good hero in terms of that. He can survive quite a bit. So here I go in and I use my charge slam, take out one enemy with it. I wouldn't recommend that as a good situation to use your charge slam. Like with all my other killstreak breakdowns, I always say you should only use your big crowd control abilities when there's actually a crowd to control with those abilities. So if there's only 1 or 2 enemies that you're killing with it, I don't think it's worth using your crowd control ability. Because then if you do actually get a big crowd that comes around trying to kill you, you don't have any crowd control abilities and you can't really kill them. So here again I use my charge slam to kill only 2 people, and I only actually kill 1 person with it. I had to punch the flame trooper to death. So here I'm just shooting a few people with my bowcaster. I should really be more involved, more up there, rather than just shooting them from here. But it's fine to just do that. But so here I've got my furious bowcaster. I've got my star card for the furious bowcaster that lets you regain weapon heat for the furious bowcaster whenever you kill someone with it. It's a really OP star card. I would definitely recommend it for anyone playing as Chewbacca. I use my charge slam again, taking out a few enemies. Now here there's a few people that walk through the door. I just take them out relatively easy with my bowcaster. I actually get pretty low here, and I choose to go and melee that guy to death. I wouldn't usually recommend going to kill people when you're pretty low, but because it was only 1 person, I think it's okay in that circumstance. Just if there's any more than 1 person and you're pretty low, I would not recommend trying to kill more people when you're pretty low, and you'll end up just losing a lot more health or dying. So it can be pretty risky doing that. But at the moment I'm just sort of wandering around, just killing any enemies that I see with my bowcaster and just meleeing them. Chewbacca has a very powerful melee. You can two-shot enemies with his melee. So if you ever get up close with enemies, you can just go and melee them with Chewbacca and they will die. As you can see, I meleeed that guy. It's actually a pretty cool way to kill people, just by meleeing them. But here I'm guarding this entrance. I wouldn't recommend guarding entrances that are already guarded by other people, because you won't get as many kills. But well, I mean, if there's another bigger entrance that you can guard, in this case there's this entrance that I can guard. Now I'm coming over here, killing quite a few people at this entrance. Now there's quite a few enemies coming through here, so I'm falling back a bit. Here I decide to fall back and let the enemies capture so that the game can continue and we can go into the final phase. So I'm standing back here with BB-8, just waiting for the enemies to capture. If you want to continue the game or end the game, it's really up to you. Jakku isn't the best map. There are definitely better maps for Resistance, really any other era. So if you want to end the game, that's fine, but here I'm just deciding to keep the game going for a bit. Now I'm actually shooting a few of the people on the command post, which isn't really a good idea if I'm wanting them to capture. I should really just be letting them capture, letting them do their thing, not killing them. But here Kae-len is coming up. He does his frenzy on me, but flies up into the air. So we're all just killing him at the moment. Kae-len dies. Now they've captured, so I go in to use my furious, my charge slam, but I take quite a bit of damage doing that. So you really have to be careful in these situations. You have to analyze them properly. You have to analyze them before you go in and just use your charge slam. You have to look at how much health you have, how many enemies there are, how far away it is. It really depends on the situation. But in that situation I was able to charge slam those people and get away with it. So it really just depends. But if you're already on low health, then I wouldn't recommend charge slamming the enemies unless you absolutely have to, because chances are you'll probably die before you can slam the enemies and kill them all. But here I'm not choosing to go on any of the command posts. I'm letting the enemies actually capture the command posts while I stay and just pick up some kills in the middle. So that's also a good strat if you want to just let the enemies capture. You can just stay in the middle area. Usually there's a middle area between the two command posts, but on some maps there aren't. But if there are maps that have a middle area and you want to let the enemies capture, you can just stay in the middle area and pick up kills here while the enemies capture the other command posts. So here I'm walking towards the enemies. I don't really know why I did that, because I wasn't charge slamming them or anything. I could just have continued shooting them from where I was instead of walking into the out of bounds area. Yeah, just picking up a few kills here. As you can see now, all the enemies here are dead, so I'm sort of just standing around doing nothing. I see some Sith troopers here giving BB-8 a tough time, so I go to help him out. Now I'm just picking up a few people that are just wandering around, not really doing anything. As you can see, I'm using my bowcaster quite a bit. If there are big groups of enemies, then like there are now, I would recommend using the furious bowcaster to kill them. But when there's not really big groups of enemies and it's just single enemies, I wouldn't recommend using a furious bowcaster, because then by the time big groups of enemies arrive, you'll probably have run out of heat for your Furious Bowcaster and have wasted it. So at the moment I'm actually pretty low on health, as you can see. I'm only 182 health, so I really need to be careful here, especially with these Sith Troopers, because if I get hit by their grenades that prevent me from being able to regen health, that can really turn pretty bad for me. So luckily that didn't happen, but you just have to be careful of the reinforcements. They can all deal quite a bit of damage, and they can really harm you. The Flame Troopers and the Sith Troopers you really have to look out for. Even if you're on pretty good health, they can be pretty deadly. But luckily Chewbacca's pretty strong, he can deal with them. But as you can see now, I'm engaging BB-9E in a 1v1. I'm getting pretty low again, so I really need to watch my health. Really need to be careful. Here I stunned BB-9E before killing him. I could have probably just shot him and killed him instantly instead of wasting my stun on him. But I chose to stun him first. Looks like my stun is back before I need to use it again, so it wasn't really too bad. Now I'm just picking up some more enemies that are coming through this doorway over here. This is a good position to be in, a good spot on the graveyard on Jakku, because you can get quite a few kills here. And as you saw there, I just wasted my charge slam on 2 people again. I probably shouldn't have done that, but in this situation where there aren't too many enemies around, my charge slam will probably be regened by the time more enemies come back. So, I mean, it's not what I would recommend, but it's not the worst thing to do in that situation when there aren't any enemies around, and when you've just finished killing all the enemies, because that means they probably won't be back for a few more minutes. So now I'm coming to B, waiting for them to capture so that I can go in and kill them all once they've captured. But the AI here are actually stopping them. So I come back around here, notice a few enemies. I'm trying to take them out here, but there's actually quite a few enemies here now, so using my Furious Bowcaster to take them all out. Now they've captured, so I go back to kill a few more of them. I kill a Sith Trooper. Now I'm coming back here. I waste my charge slam. I really shouldn't have done that. Even if that had gotten the Flame Trooper, I wouldn't recommend using my charge slam on one Flame Trooper. You'll find that's a common theme with these Killstreak breakdowns, just using your crowd control abilities when you don't have to use them and wasting them. It can be quite a bit of a detriment to later if big crowds of enemies come and you don't have your crowd control abilities. But Chewbacca's actually a pretty good hero for dealing with big crowds of enemies without his charge slam, because he's got a good range of abilities. His Furious Bowcaster and his stun are both very good. But yeah, here I'm getting attacked by Palpatine, so I stun him before charge slamming him, wasting my charge slam again. A bit of a silly waste of my charge slam there. I should have just shot him. But here I'm being frozen by Kylo, so I try to take him out, but someone else ends up taking out Kylo instead. So now there are no enemies here. I'm coming to this little choke point here, getting quite a few kills here. But as you see, I lose quite a bit of health, and you really need to be careful when you're going to choke points, trying to take out enemies at choke points, because you can end up getting killed if you don't play carefully enough, because essentially you're running into a big crowd of enemies and just relying on one ability to take them all out. And if you get stunned or you waste your ability somehow or something happens, then you're essentially just in a big group of enemies with nothing really you just have to run. So it can be pretty risky, but as you can see, I'm managing to kill all these enemies with my charge slam. So now we've only got a minute left to defend. Things are looking pretty well at the moment. I'm on a 108 player kill streak. I'm really just guarding this choke point here. This is a good choke point for the final phase. You can get quite a few kills here. Now I'm just meleeing all these people because they're pretty low on health, and you know, I'm very close to them, so I can really just melee them to death. Now I'm coming back to defend the command post again because I've killed all those enemies there. I tried to melee there, but I actually end up dying to that Sith Trooper because I tried meleeing him from too far away. You have to be pretty close if you want to melee. You can't try to melee from too far away because they're not like lightsaber heroes where it'll lock on and like pull you closer to them. So I actually ended up dying from that, but it didn't really matter because the game ended anyways, and I ended up on a 116 player kill streak. So a lot higher than I thought. I thought it was a 93 player kill streak, but yeah, that was a pretty good game. I was able to get quite a bit of good gameplay out of that video. There was lots of good tips and strats in the video, lots of useful things that I think could be helpful for you and your gameplay. So I hope you took something out of that and learned something for your own gameplay. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!